It's another of our Meet Your Legislators episodes, brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council, Lignite Energy Council. Representative T.J. Brown is the newest member of the North Dakota Legislature. Representative Brown, nice to see you.
Hey, good to see you too.
So walk us through your story a little bit and how you became active politically in your district in Fargo and how that ultimately led you here to the legislature.
Sounds good. So, always been very interested in politics, wanted to get involved. I find it hard to complain about something if you're not trying to help change it. So that's why I've always wanted to get into politics. I guess my first venue into politics would have been when I was a police officer with West Fargo. Suffered a massive heart attack on the job. There were some insurance issues, and our current chief and Senator Rowers at the time were able to present a bill, get that passed to help take care of all of our first responders that related to heart health. And so I had to come and testify in front of the House and Senate for that, and really kind of got to see the firsthand impact that legislation can have on the community. So got involved with our local district through our chair, Amy Olson, and then, the untimely passing of Josh Christie. And I was able, luckily we were in a good spot personally that we could come in and fill the spot and help out.
Well, that's fantastic. Tell us a little bit about your background. Obviously, you have law enforcement background. Where'd you grow up? How long have you been in Fargo? Tell us a little bit about you and your family.
Yeah, so I grew up mostly in Memphis, Tennessee, right across the border in Mississippi, actually. But I was a medic in the Army. I served all 4 years on a Navy base, so I know more about the Navy than I do the Army. Decided that I didn't want to do that anymore, so I attended the police academy in Memphis, Tennessee, and policed the most dangerous neighborhood in America for about 3.5 years. That ran its course, as I'm sure you can imagine, so we moved up to North Dakota to raise our family. Where my family is, and I was a police in West Fargo for, I think, about another 3 years. Left that to pursue a business interest, which was a gun store and shooting range. We actually just closed that down, hopes to reopen soon, but married, got 3 kids, 2 boys, 9 and 6, and a little girl that's about to be 5 months.
Tell us a little bit about taking all of that life experience into the actual legislative body. One thing to be politically active, come here and testify on a bill and be part of something. Now you're part of the sausage making. How's it going so far?
It's going pretty good. We don't have a lot of people in the legislature that has a law enforcement background, so I definitely feel that it's nice, especially, the truth and sentencing bill or some of the other ones going through. It's nice to have a perspective of somebody who's been on the streets, dealing with those issues in the public safety realm for a long time. So definitely able to help, especially, as Fargo is dealing with a bit of a crime issue. It's nice I think it's good to have my perspective on some of these issues coming in. And it's a great thing about North Dakota Legislature is nobody's a full-time politician. So everybody's really out to better their community, not better their pockets.
Interesting. You mentioned the truth and sentencing bill, the idea being there that violent offenders actually serve the sentence they're given, because we hear from other law enforcement there's a lot of repeat offenders. You're seeing some of the same actors all the time. Obviously, you had experience. That's the argument for the change in legislation. You support it?
I do support it. There's obviously concerns as like I tell everybody, it is impossible to pass a perfect law. There's always going to be some kind of negative aspect or some issue with it. This issue, the biggest thing is going to be space in jail. Cass County Jail is currently short beds right now. Jesse Johnner is an awesome sheriff, and he's doing what he can to fix that. But other than that, we have to hold these people accountable for the crimes that's committed. Now, that's our aspect. There's also other things that go into this. We have to have state's attorneys that are going to actually prosecute the crimes. And then we also have to take the handcuffs off of our officers and allow them to be the proactive police that they want to, so that way they can actually enforce and arrest these people. The truth and sentencing bill is just one cog in the wheel. We're going to have to get a couple different things to come together to really have it take its full effect.
Talk a little bit about energy issues. Obviously, as I mentioned, the Petroleum Council and the Lignite Energy Council, 2 of our sponsors, allowing us an opportunity to meet all the new legislators. What influences your decisions on those industries that obviously are important part of the oil and gas, pays 53% of the taxes in the state. A little bit out of sight, out of mind where we live, but at the same time, pretty darn important to the overall economy and paying for roads, schools, and bridges. What's your thoughts on what the legislature can do to make sure those industries are sound in our state?
So definitely have to acknowledge that North Dakota is an oil and industry state. And granted, Fargo may be on the opposite side of that state, but they're still responsible for a lot of our funding and a lot of things we do. That being said, they still have laws and a constitution that needs to be abided by. And, especially when it comes to eminent domain or anything that's going to what I would consider violate the Constitution or violate someone's sovereignty, I'm not going to support at all.
Interesting story. I don't believe that the oil and gas industry in North Dakota has ever used eminent domain for an energy infrastructure project. That says a lot about landowner rights interacting with industry, doesn't it?
It does, and that's good to know. I didn't know that they hadn't used it, but it's not a matter of what's been done in the past because I just got here now, so it's a matter of what we can make sure doesn't happen in the future.
You bet. What guides you philosophically? What kind of guardrails do you have on making a decision on particular pieces of legislation?
Yeah, so, I like to think I'm a pretty morally bound individual. God, family, country is definitely kind of the three pillars. But, if it's through police work, I've been able to develop a pretty good sense of not just what's good for me. You have to put that aside of what's good for the community around you, and put away your own well-being or your own viewpoint sometimes to do what's best for the community, and that's ultimately what I try to do.
Anything else you want to tell us?
No, like I tell everybody, I appreciate this opportunity being out here, and I fully expect to be held accountable by any of my constituents in District 27. So if you have anything you want to say or reach out to me, please feel free to hold my feet to the fire for anything that I may or may not do.
And is this something you plan to run for, to continue in this spot?
The term's still young for me, but I think so right now, but we still got about a month and a half.
Great to catch up with you, TJ. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.